Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Should I be doing the videos that these books are set up for? Yes, but I want to do this one. Today I'm going to be watching my most anticipated reads of 2021 and seeing if I read them and if I liked them and if they were worth anticipating. So that's going to be super fun. I'm super excited about it. And without further ado, I'm just going to watch the video. I will admit I have cheated throughout the year. I wanted to remind myself at certain points what I was looking forward to and release dates and things like that. So I have looked at this video, but I'm still intrigued to see what the hell I was looking forward to, because I kind of remember, but then I kind of don't. So let's just go find that video. I feel like it wasn't that long ago because I haven't uploaded that many videos this year. My most anticipated 2021 releases.
Hello, friend.
Alright, first book. So the #1 most anticipated book on my TBR for 2021 is Survive the Night by Riley Sager. Aww. I know this takes place in the... Sweet girl. Had so much faith. I mean, okay, I can't talk so much shit about this because I did give it a 4-star. I gave it a 4-star, honestly, I think out of generosity and kindness and my love of Riley Sager, because it just wasn't it. It wasn't it. I haven't filmed my most disappointed reads of the year yet, but spoiler. I wanted to love this. I wanted to love this so much. So did everyone. I feel like everyone who reads thrillers was like, yay, another Riley Sager. And I was like, what's this? So, while The House Across the Lake is probably going to be on this year's most anticipated, I'm nervous. I'm real nervous because, like, Riley, what happened? To be honest, I know what happened. You tried to write a book every fucking year. Like, you didn't have to. Sorry. Wow. But, okay. Alright. Let's just, I don't really want to hear myself talk about it. Next up, we have Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and Daisy Jones and the Six are two of my all-time favorite books, so I am super... Okay, I read this in December. I did read it within the year that I was anticipating it. Very, very far after it was released, but I read it. And surprisingly, I will admit, so many people had made me believe I wasn't gonna like it because they were like, it's so different from Evelyn Hugo and Daisy Jones, it's just not the same and it's just not as good. I really liked it. I gave it a 4-star. It wasn't 5-star like the other two that I've read from her, but I liked it a lot. I really liked... So like my friend Sydney had read it before me, like right before me, and she said once you get to the party scenes, it's like, it's way faster, it's way quicker, it doesn't take so long. And I will say, like, the flashbacks to the 50s and like the parents of the kids, the scenes definitely like slowed down the pace, but I wanted to stay in those flashbacks way more than I wanted to read about what was happening in the 80s. Because those two timelines, you know, are intermingled until they're not, and then you're just in the party in the 80s. It's the 80s, right? Maybe it's the 90s. No, it's the 80s. I don't remember. But I liked it a lot. I thought it was really good. I thought it had a lot of her normal style where I just believed in these people. I believed in these characters. They felt real to me, which I think is my favorite part of Taylor Jenkins Reid's writing, is I believe her characters, and I believe their motivations, and I believe who they are as people, and I loved it. I loved the cameos. Those are so fun. I liked it a lot, and I think I liked it so much because so many people were saying it was meh. So it's really funny because I gave Survive the Night and Malibu Rising both a 4-star, but one of them is probably going to be one of my most disappointing, and one's going to probably be one of my favorites. So I think it really just depends on hype and how long I wait to read one, I guess. That's so bad. That's such bias. I know it's so biased because straight up, Survive the Night, I read almost immediately after it came out. So I didn't hear a lot of people say it was disappointing. So when I read it, I was like, oh, And then when I read Malibu Rising, I had heard from a lot of people that it just wasn't as good. So I kind of was going into it with that mindset. And I was like, wow, no, I liked this just fine. So very biased considering they're both 4 stars, but I have very different feelings toward them. I feel like I should definitely knock down Survive the Night's rating, but I don't want to. That hurts. That hurts my soul. All right, what's next? I don't need to talk about it. Next up, we have 400 Souls by Ibram X. Kendi. This is a community history of African America from 1619 to 2019. I read Ibram X. Kendi's How to Be an Anti-Racist last year, so I am looking forward to this. This sounds extremely informative and important, so I am really looking forward to reading this. I read this in November. 5 stars. Loved it so much. It was one of the most impactful things that I've ever read, much less this year. Highly recommend it, and yeah, it was definitely worth the anticipation. 100%. It was so good. It was amazing. It's 400 souls. It's 400 different stories about 400. It's just so good. It's so good. It's just, please read it. I read it on audiobook, which was really cool because I'm pretty sure they're all read by their by their writers. They're narrated by their writers, and incredible. Highly recommend. Definitely worth anticipating. Next up, we have The Project by Courtney Summers. I absolutely love Sadie. I read that in 2019 and it was right up my alley. It was exactly just what I want out of YA thrillers. It was so good. This, I don't know much about. The Project by Courtney Summers. I'm very happy. I'm reading all of these books. I've read them. I listened to The Project by Courtney Summers in November, I want to say. And I will admit, yet again, I think this had a lot to do with it. So many people said it wasn't good. So many people were like, no, thanks. And I liked it a lot. I think I gave it a 4, maybe a 3. I don't remember. I think I gave it a 4 because I feel 4-star feelings toward it. I liked it. It's a cult novel. I enjoyed the cult aspect of it. I also believed it. I felt like this was definitely the way this would go. I didn't feel like it was stretched or, you know, crazy or unbelievable. I did, however, feel like it wasn't quite YA. I was like, really? Wow, okay, that's a lot for YA. But I really liked it. I don't think it's like top of the year, but I really liked it. And I think mostly I liked it so much because I was so damn surprised that I liked it. So next up we have The Echo Wife by Sarah Gailey. I have not read a Sarah Gailey novel, but there's quite a few, a couple on my TBR. This is about a woman who makes this clone, but then the clone starts having an affair with her husband, and it just goes off from there. That sounds incredible. The Echo Wife! Oh, that's fun! So yeah, I had not yet read a Sarah Gailey. And I have now read Upright Women Wanted, and I loved that. I read it in December. It was one of my last reads of the year, and I really liked it. And I'm actually currently reading The Echo Wife. So that's cool. I mostly wanted to read this because of Kayla. Most of my reading is dictated by Kayla, let's be honest here. And she really liked it. So I'm really looking forward to it. I know I'm only about 50 pages in so far. I might add some vlog footage. That might be kind of cool if I did that. Maybe I'll vlog the rest of me reading that because I am enjoying it, and I think it will hopefully be worth the anticipation. I don't know at this point. Next up we have Every Value Break by Peter Swanson. This is actually the first of the Literally Dead book club, which I'm really excited because it gives me Every Value Break by, I forgot this was on here. So Every Value Break by Peter Swanson. I think I had heard Kayla talking about this, so I was like, oh yeah, that sounds amazing. This was not it. This was a 3-star thriller, if that. I remember it was for the Literally Dead book club, so I, you know, was pretty sure I was gonna read it, but I just remember being like, really? What? I didn't like it. I felt like it was not believable at all. I felt like the twists it took were just like, what? Why? I didn't like it. It's so funny now because there's so many of these books that I'm like, I should probably like lower their ratings. But I was disappointed. Okay, I wouldn't say I didn't like it, but I was disappointed. I had really high hopes that this was going to be amazing because it is about a woman who cheats on her fiance at her bachelorette party, and then he shows up at the honeymoon. Like, that's amazing. And then the twists it took were just like, so meh, not quite worth the anticipation, but I feel like everyone feels the same way about that. So I only have 14 books on this list because One Last Stop was on here twice. One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. I am really excited for this because I read Red, White, and Royal Blue last year and loved it. So I've been trying to get more into adult romance, and I can't wait to pick up this one. One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. Yes, I did read that. It took me a really long time, but I did end up really enjoying it. Arguably more than Red, White, and Royal Blue. It took me longer to read than Red, White, and Royal Blue, but it was such a fun summer read. Like, I would take it with me to the beach, and I just enjoyed the hell out of it. It was so fun. The concept and the way that she was able to do it, I just was so into. I loved the characters. It was very cool, and it was an interesting take on a romance that I didn't know if I was gonna love. The whole time traveling, stuck in time thing. Ended up eating it up. Absolutely loved it. Worth the anticipation for sure. Next up, we have All's Well by Mona Awad. I'm sorry, this cover does everything for me. All's Well by Mona Awad. You're correct, Pasty Lisa. That cover is incredible, and I still really like that. This, I wanted to be like Bunny so badly. So badly I wanted it to be like Bunny, and that's why I was anticipating it, because it had that feel. I have 13 ways of looking like I have 13 ways of looking at a fat girl on my TBR. I own it, but it doesn't have that same feel as Bunny, so I'm not quite as excited to read it. This felt like Bunny. It felt like it could be as like darkly amazing as Bunny. It just wasn't. I wanted it to be so bad. I loved what it did. There were so many things. Okay, Amazon. I think that it did amazing things when talking about chronic pain and talking about how people don't believe you, and how forcing others to feel your pain is like the only way for them to believe you. I really liked that, but I think it went in some weird ass directions that I was like, ugh. It didn't give me like the satisfaction that Bunny gave me. Bunny made me like laugh, and like I was just like so engrossed and like really enjoying it. And then this one, it was like, wait, what? Why? And it was really slow, and it just, no, unfortunately this did not live up to the hype and my anticipation. Next up, we have For Your Own Good by Samantha Downing. I've read My Lovely Wife and He Started It and loved both of them. It has something to do with a teacher and murder and a student, and I don't even know. Need to know. For Your Own Good by Samantha Downing. Yes, this was a 5-star for me. This was definitely worth the anticipation. Yes. Yes. I had read My Lovely Wife. That was a 5-star. I read He Started It. That was a 4-star. For Your Own Good, 5-star. So good. She just writes such unlikable, like not whiny, but like dark characters that you're like, this person sucks. What is he gonna do next? And she did a lot of like multi-perspective in this one, and I loved the way she used it. Just so good. One of my top thrillers of the year, one of my top reads of the year for sure. Definitely worth the anticipation. Next up, we have A Lesson in Vengeance by Victoria Lee. This was compared to Wilder Girls, and I'm pretty sure it takes place at a boarding school, and it might have something to do with witch. I have been so uninterested in A Lesson in Vengeance all year. Like, it became like a really big thing. Like, people were talking about it, and like I was just kind of like, yeah, maybe one day. Maybe one day. I don't even think I checked it out of the library. I don't think I placed it on hold. What? It was one of my most anticipated. Yeah, no, don't remember that. Don't remember that at all. I felt like I had a pretty good grasp on like all of these books. Since when? Since when was I anticipating A Lesson in Vengeance by Victoria Lee? Why was I? What? I swear I just saw a video. I saw like Kayla's most anticipated and was like, that sounds cool, let me do that. What? I have so many questions. Okay, that's okay. All right, if I'm gonna make this into a vlog, I gotta find it somewhere. I'm sorry, that was out of left field. Next up, we have The Maidens by Alex Mikulitis. I read The Silent Patient a couple years ago and really, really liked the ride. I finished The Maidens last night. I had started it about a week ago. I read 50 pages and was like, and then I read the rest of it in a night. So I liked it. It was a 4-star read. It was not, okay, so The Silent Patient, I was still quite new to thrillers when I read it, and it boggled my mind. The Maidens didn't quite go for that like level of like heh. But I don't know. I was taking part in reading sprints with Erin and Kayla last night, and Erin said, "You know who did it?" And she's like, "It's not a spoiler. You know who did it." And Kayla was like, "Well, I didn't. I read it so fast that I really wasn't paying attention." And I will say, I got like the inkling of who it was, and then I was like, no. And then I was like, it was just like one of those moments where I was like, no, it can't be, no. And then I was like, oh shit, yeah, it is. So it didn't quite blow me out of the water, but I was engaged enough to read like how many pages of it, the majority of it, last night in one sitting. So was it worth the anticipation? Yes. Was it as good as The Silent Patient reading experience for me? No. Next up, Rory Power has a new book coming out. It's called The World Ends
Rory
Here.
Power.
I don't think that
yet
came
to
out.
read Burn Our Bodies.
I don't think that came. I will shit my pants if Rory Power. I think Rory Power has a new release next year that doesn't look at all intriguing to me. Yeah, The World Ends Here. Yeah, nope. Doesn't have a date. That's fine. Alright, that's fine. Another one I don't need to read. Next up, we have The Box in the Woods by Maureen Johnson. It is the 4th Box in the Woods by Maureen Johnson. Oh, I read this in the summer. I loved the first 3 in the Truly Devious series. I thought it was a great trilogy. I was super satisfied with it. I think a lot of people had a lot of things to say about it, but I was totally satisfied. This book ruined the satisfaction for me. I still gave it a 4-star. I felt like it felt to me like Mary-Kate and Ashley camp mystery books. You remember those? Like the mystery adventures of Mary-Kate and Ashley, and they had books and they went to camp like a million times and they were always solving things at camp. It felt like one of those books, but like elaborated and like more built on, and I liked the actual feel and atmosphere of it a lot. I think Maureen Johnson did an amazing job of creating that like camp feel, but the actual twist pissed me off. I hated the twist. I was like, bitch, what? We're going where? Fuck that. No thanks. And I feel like a lot of people felt like that around the entire series, whereas I didn't feel like that until this book, and I was like, well, now I'm pissed. So this didn't have to exist, and you made it exist, and now I'm mad about it. So, no. And last up, we have Act Your Age, Eve Brown by Talia Hibbert. I read Get a Life, Chloe Brown last year, and Take a Hint, Danny Brown. I'm currently. Last up, Act Your Age, Eve Brown. I did read that. I read Danny and Eve this year, and love them both. Eve might be my favorite, surprisingly. I didn't think I was gonna love Eve being like that little like baby, always got what she wanted kind of mentality. I thought that was gonna bother me more. Nope. Loved it. Loved the love story. I love grumpy men and sweet, very peppy women. I think it's a great setup for love, and that's what this gave me. I am not a big romance reader. I read like 3 to 4 maybe romances a year, and they never really blow me away, but I loved Eve Brown. I truly did. I enjoyed the hell out of it, and I can't wait for Talia to write more of this kind of. I don't really want to get into her other series. They're not really my thing, but the Brown sisters, if she writes anything else like that, I'm so down. Alrighty, so what did we learn? I've read every book but The Echo Wife and A Lesson in Vengeance? What the fuck? I don't know what I'm gonna do about A Lesson in Vengeance. I think, how much is the ebook? Maybe I will allow myself to buy an ebook if it's not ridiculously expensive. I'm still pissed about. I'm kind of pissed. I will say I'm pissed it passed me for being, that is so expensive. I don't know how, but I am eligible for another free trial of Audible. Cool. Don't know how I became that again, because I've definitely had that. And okay, after 30 days, don't worry. All right, so I'm gonna get the audio of A Lesson in Vengeance, and we're gonna read that, and then we're gonna read The Echo Wife, and I'm gonna vlog it. Sounds great. I filmed like 6 to 8 videos today between my book channel, my beauty channel. I was gonna film more, but then I like sat down and watched some TikToks, and now I'm just not in the mood, and my makeup's melting off my face. But my room is a god-awful mess, so I'm gonna take care of that, and I guess I'm gonna start the Lesson in Vengeance audiobook. I was listening to a different audiobook, a nonfiction audiobook called All the Single Ladies, because, you know, make myself feel better. But I guess we're gonna put that on pause and listen to A Lesson in Vengeance. I don't know how I feel about that at all. And I'm gonna clean, because it's a mess in here. Some of it I can't clean completely because I still need to film more videos, hopefully tomorrow. But I feel like I should just like move it out of the way. Maybe clean my bathroom, maybe? I don't know, it's like 10:30. But I have like a lot of energy because my sleep schedule's fucked. Who knows when I'll go to bed, but A Lesson in Vengeance and some much needed tidying. Okay, so I did not update you guys like at all, and I'm real sorry about that, but I officially have finished The Echo Wife and A Lesson in Vengeance, and I'm just gonna quickly tell you if they were worth my anticipation. So this one I would say mostly yes. I gave this a 4-star. I really liked the directions this book went in. I wasn't ever totally sure what they were gonna do. This definitely follows the synopsis, but in a way that I wasn't really expecting. I don't think I read the entire inside cover, which was why some of this surprised me, because something that should have been a spoiler, or that should have been a spoiler on the front cover, I didn't read, so it wasn't, so I was surprised. But I really liked this. The clone aspect of it, the sci-fi aspect of it was interesting, and it didn't lose me, which I was a little worried it might. There's definitely murder and thriller aspects to this. Who can you trust? Who can't you trust? What the hell are they gonna do now? I really liked this. I thought it was really fun and different than what I normally read, and I would definitely be down to pick up some more Sarah Gailey in the future. A Lesson in Vengeance I read on audiobook, and I have to agree with like the masses at this one. I don't think this book knew what it wanted to be, and that's the feeling I got, because there were so many moments where I was like, why? Like, why are we spending time on this? Why are we talking about this? Why does this need to be included? It felt like it didn't know what it wanted to be. It was like, are you a horror? Are you a mystery? Are you a thriller? Are you an unreliable narrator story? Are you a story of friendship? Are you a story of betrayal? And like, it's a story of vengeance, but the vengeance aspect of it, I just didn't do it for me. Nothing really did it for me, and I just felt like even the academic setting could not save it. I just was not invested, and I didn't really care. There were a couple of moments that I was like, what? But it was more like, no, that actually isn't really what happened. And then it was like, that's what happened? What? So yeah, it was a 3-star. There were moments that I liked and I didn't hate it. It was just kind of like, meh, like it just, if it had just like stayed, I'm a big proponent of staying supernatural. If that's your guess, I kind of want it to be that sometimes. And like this one, they just relied on like mental health stuff, and they would, you know, have different statements and have characters say things and talk about things in papers that they were writing about, you know, oh, is it, you know, use of mental illness as a form of suspicion or whatever in horror books. And it was just, yeah, I didn't really love what it did, and I didn't really love where it went, and I was really hoping for more, but it just never brought it. So yes, it was a 3-star, and unfortunately not really worth the anticipation, which I think is obvious in the fact that I completely forgot I put it on this list. It was the only one that I did not remember. So I think that just shows that it just wasn't worth the anticipation. I don't even think I had anticipation for it, to be honest, because I feel like the second the first review came out about it, I was like, oh, never mind. So, but those were all of the books that I was most anticipating in 2021 and how I ended up feeling about them. I will be soon filming my 2022 anticipated reads, and we'll see if I get through all of those. But thank you so much for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, all the normal stuff, and I will see you all again really soon. Bye.